All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the 210 show. Today, we have a pretty interesting pod for y'all. So, we brought the energy. I hope you're ready. But before we get started, let's do some introductions. I'm your co host, Mr. Raider.
And this is Angry Joey.
Hater of facts in the house, baby.
Finally, we'll pick Suey.
All right, so we're gonna cover some NFL, some NBA, some college football, some stuff like that. So, without further ado, go ahead and kick it off with this MLB stuff, Angry Joey.
My goodness, what a series so far. Here we are. We just watched an epic game last night. Yeah, and just for the listeners out there, we're actually watching Game 4 right now. Whereas it stands right now, the Dodgers are actually down to Toronto 2-1 in the looks like it's the bottom of the third. But the night before, just absolutely was amazing baseball. The game itself actually and I'm going to be perfectly honest. I had to go to bed before I could watch the whole thing, so I ended up having to get the cliff notes on this after the game had long since ended. But, because yeah, I'm an old fart, but to be fair, I actually did stay up until, 1:30 waiting for the outcome to happen. But as it turns out, it didn't happen at that time, simply because the game lasted for 6 hours and 39 minutes with 19 pitchers and 613 pitches thrown. I mean, my God, it was a marathon game. Who would have ever thought? The game actually, ended in a tie at the end of the ninth, and not a single run was scored until the 18th inning. I mean, that's just remarkable. It ended with 6 pitches at the bottom of the 18th. Okay, so there's only been one other game that's actually happened, and as it turns out, it was at the bottom. It was actually at the same exact park back in 2018 with the Dodgers and the Sox, and it was only one pitch more than what we saw last night. That's never happened before. And then, okay, here's another one. Ohtani, he actually reached the base 9 times, okay? And, yeah. Okay, so 2 of those were home runs. 2 others were doubles, and then 5 were walks. 4 of them were intentional, okay? So, and we're gonna get into that, those 4 walks in just a minute, or excuse me, a little bit later on in this pod, but at the same time, his postseason went from 333 to 424. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, 424, he's almost hitting or getting on base almost half the time,
Yeah.
have you guys ever seen that shit happen? It's remarkable. Here we are, yeah, the Dodgers, they pulled it off on a last ditch effort by Freddie
Freeman.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman, he actually he went yard in the bottom of the 18th, but it took him 18 fucking innings to get there. I mean, that's exhausting. I mean, they were actually pulling out pitchers, that were supposed to start tonight, and they, because they were both teams were completely out of pitchers. I don't know what kind of arms these guys are going to have or what kind of games what this shapes up to be, but it was a remarkable series. It's been just an amazing series so far. This whole World Series and playoffs has been one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I have a question for the 2 Dodgers fans here. So with this marathon game now been concluded, and you had to come right back to the park today to start another game. Is this the worst case scenario for your team, given the fact that your bullpen was a considerable and maybe the only weakness that you have?
Well, it's kind of scary, just because, we don't know what kind of strength we actually have in our bullpen right now outside of, because the first game of the World Series, you had Snell, and he had a bad game. But Yamamoto, and of course Ohtani, he's throwing tonight right now, and we'll see, but I will say this, Ohtani, as awesome as he is, he just gave up a 2-run blast. So who
Mhm.
knows? I mean, I got to give it to the Blue Jays. They are no shit team, man. They are really good. They're going to give everything that the Dodgers have to. You know, they're a problem. I mean, so the Dodgers are going to have to play lights out to be able to close the series out. And that includes their bullpen.
I
But
have to
yeah,
kind of
to answer your question, I think that the Dodgers bullpen, shit, man, that's tough to say, because they were pretty depleted, but then again, so were the Jays. So we'll see.
I kind of got a little bit of different view on it. I'm not too concerned because number one, this is baseball. It's not like it's football where you literally take a beating on every play. So they're gonna be all right. Rest up, get some Gatorade in you, get at least 7, 8 hours of sleep, and get back to it. So I'm not worried at all.
I
All
think
right.
this game right here is what we're seeing right now is very, very pivotal. Because if the Blue Jays actually capture this one, then they reclaim a home field advantage. They
Mhm.
they have one more game back in Dodger Stadium, and then if the Dodgers win, then they actually go back to Toronto. So I mean, I think the Dodgers, they need to keep this momentum going forward. If they lose this game,
Mm.
they're kind of at a little bit of a disadvantage. But either way, what we're seeing right now is very, very good baseball.
Yeah, Otani just got his third strikeout.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, so,
What?
so I have a different question. What from a non-baseball fan here? Why in the heck did they start the game so late? Why are they starting like 8 Eastern
West
time?
Coast, West Coast time.
West
That's why.
Coast time. West Coast time.
Well,
It is
yeah, but
that.
even then, like you could still start with what would like 6 o'clock Eastern be in
3.
California?
Three
Yeah.
It'd be
o'clock.
3 PM. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I mean, I understand this was an outlier that most games aren't 6.5 hours long, but still, they didn't finish until I think like 3 a.m. Eastern, something like that. So it's
Yeah.
that's crazy to me.
So I think the biggest reason, and please, Mr. Writer, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the biggest reason, especially given the fact that the game is in LA, the way
Yeah.
the traffic is, if you started the
Yeah.
game at 3 o'clock,
Yep.
nobody will be in the stands until at least like 7:30.
That's exactly right. I remember. I remember as a kid, like none of the games starting till early was like 7 o'clock p.m. because that would give you time to be able to get to the stadium and shit like that. Traffic is ridiculous for
Mm.
those that aren't familiar with LA. But yeah, that's exactly why.
Okay. I'll just want to point out that I think that the way that the series is going is completely Angry Joey's fault because he asked for a competitive series. He asked for it, and now you got it. So whatever the result is, everybody thank Angry Joey.
Oh no, but at the end of the day, isn't this fun though? I mean, you want to see that kind of stuff. You want to see, you don't want to see a snore fest, or a sweep, especially in the World Series. I mean,
I
just
think
yeah,
it
wanna
you
see a
depends
want
on
chip.
the result.
you want to see
I
your
just wanna
team
see a
win,
chip. I don't
and
care
you
how we
want to
get there. I just wanna see a chip.
you want to see your team win, of course, but at the same time, what you don't want to. I don't know, man. Maybe that's just the competitiveness in me, I mean, because you kind of have to look at it from both sides. I mean, the Blue Jays, they're trying to win just as much as the Dodgers are. I mean, and I mean, in the back of my mind, of course, being a Dodgers fan, I'm thinking the Blue Jays, but at the same time, I mean, you got to admire them because they are a very, very good and competitive team. That's
Okay.
the only reason, I mean, now I say that in baseball. Now, football might be a different matter. But anyway,
Well, anything else on this baseball stuff?
nothing more from me, sir.
I'm good.
Opid?
I'm good.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's. You want to do NBA or should we do college football?
Let's do the NBA.
Let's do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Luca, he had his 49-point game, 49 almost. I think he was 1 assist away from a triple double. Great game for him. We won that game, and then past that, I think he tweaked something, so they decided to sit him out for a week.
Oh my God.
So
Aw.
Yeah, I hate the way that the NBA does that. They set people like crazy. But anyways, suffice to say, after that, we had to play the Sacramento Kings, and Austin Reaves was the primary player, and that dude went off. He went 51 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. And then the game afterwards versus Portland, he went up for 41, 4, and 5. So the dude has just been balling out. So my question to the pod is Austin Reaves the best third option player in the NBA?
Oh, oh, completely misread this question. I thought you were saying he is the best 3 in the league, as in the best small forward in the game. That's
No. No, 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 no.
honestly, that's what I was about to go on your head. Like, oh my god, like,
No, best
oh my
third
god,
option.
oh,
Best team third option in the
you know,
league.
you okay? When you post in Discord, I need you to be a little bit more descriptive in your
Who
statement, sir,
who
because
did why would I say he's the best 3 in the in the
I don't
game?
know. You know what? Sometimes Laker fans, much like Cowboy fans, they get a little delulu. I'm sorry. Y'all do this type
Okay.
of stuff. So I'm sorry. And I was about to say, with your boy LeBron, once he get over that sciatica, he gonna be up in there and he gonna put him right back where he belongs. So he's trying to enjoy it while he can. He's trying to enjoy all the ball usage as much as he can because he knows it's gonna be over with once LeBron gets back. But I will say this. I guess to answer your question, and is he like the vanilla Ginobili?
Well,
Sure, sure.
well,
Um,
I will say last year, while Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luca were on the court, he averaged 26 and 5 as the third option. So I fully understand he's not going to start scoring 51 while they're both on the court, but still, 26 and 5 as the third player is pretty awesome,
well,
especially
that's
considering the
because
amount of times that he gets the ball.
let's be fair. The last 2 games, and you said Luka's been out the last 2 games, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now he's
Uh,
the number one option in the last 2 games. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He has 22 field goal attempts in both games,
Yeah.
and I also like to point out that the last 2 games he had. Well, in the game against Sacramento, he had 22 free throw attempts.
That's not his fault. They should have
I
stopped hacking him.
nah. He's an SGA level of free throw merchant. This is ridiculous. 22 free throw attempts against Sacramento and another 14 against Portland. What type of man? Look, I don't know what this means, but this little pattern here, I don't like it. I don't like it. I already don't like it out of SGA. People try to call him the best player on the planet. He's basically
What do you mean
James
trying?
Harden. He's basically James Harden on steroids now. Like I thought James Harden got away with some mess. He done took it to a whole nother level now. I don't even understand. But
See, I think it's different. I think it's like, hey man, I'm not gonna let this third option white boy from Arkansas come in and bust me in the chops. I'm gonna smack the shit out of him when he's trying to go past me.
that's I guess that's
Ah,
one way of looking at it.
yeah, I'll take that foul over that highlight.
I guess you like like I said, like it's bad enough Matt McClung going over here winning slam dunk contest. I'd be damned if this dude coming out here scoring 50.
Yeah, he was busting that ass. So
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
I guess the next I guess it's the next Larry Bird, eh? Is that what it is?
No, see, I don't think he's that good, but I do think that I think he's good enough. He could be a 2, like the second best option on a team. Maybe not a
Well,
championship team, but I definitely think that he has positioned himself that his next contract, a team could offer him second option money.
now it's funny you bring that up because if I'm not mistaken, he was offered like a 85 or 86 million dollar contract from the Lakers and he turned it down. Is that correct?
He did decline it. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well,
and he wants out of LA, man. Watch.
I
yeah.
see. I think he loves to be in LA. I just think that I think he declined it because he's betting on himself being able to make more than that. So,
You know
Or
who's going
maybe
to
he's
pursue him?
what's that?
well, maybe he's thinking, if LeBron steps out of the way finally,
Exactly. That's going to
and
free up a
that
lot of
$50 million
money, and then he
come off the
will be the
books, maybe
two.
he can get a piece.
Yeah, yeah, yep. I
Maybe.
think this year he's trying to make himself or show himself as I am a 2, or
Mhm.
I am the second option, and once LeBron's out of the picture, I wanna get paid like a second, you know? Like,
Wow.
I want Robin money, you know? So,
See, he's a good player. I just don't think he's a legit number one option. I would label him as a 2B because his jump shot is just too inconsistent, man, and he's so streaky. Look at his whole
Yes.
basically career, dude. He is very, very streaky. So I don't know. I mean, maybe maybe this is the year he figured it out. You know?
maybe. I mean, it's
And
early in the season. I just wanted to throw that out there. He's had fantastic games.
Yeah, he
We're
has actually.
I think we're 2 and 2. Shout out to the Spurs starting out right out the gate hot, 4-0,
Yeah,
um,
Wemby's looking MVP. Shit.
right? Yeah.
hey
That
man,
they're looking good, real
yeah,
good.
and I can't wait till November 5th, Spurs versus Lakers in LA. I just want to see what your boy DeAndre Ayton gonna do.
Yeah, I don't know. But between the Spurs and OKC, man, the West right now, like those 2 teams aren't going anywhere for a long time. They're
Yeah,
so young and talented.
yeah,
God, it's annoying.
Yeah, especially with Denver being on the decline too, the Nuggets.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I think the
I
Timberwolves are good too. Like
yeah.
there's some
We'll see. Yeah.
so
But hey, them old heads at Golden State, they still hanging in there.
yeah, they are
right?
with Jimmy buckets.
Yeah.
So
You know, go ahead.
the only pause that I would actually give would be, for the Spurs coaching. That's, and I think we talked a little bit about it. I mean, I just hope that the coaching actually comes through, because right now it seems that Wemby, Castle, and those guys are just kind of floating the boat right now. I mean, but I'm just not sold on the coaching yet, man. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know. There's just something there that I just don't like. I
For
mean,
the
I mean,
Spurs?
They are 4-0. Something got to be going
they
right.
well,
Wemby's looking
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
but
can't, the league hasn't figured out how they want to defend Wemby yet, and I think
How
Yeah,
that's
do you?
yeah.
yeah.
How do you defend somebody like that?
well, you don't. I mean,
The man
but
can
you, I
almost dunk from the free throw line, it looks like. I mean, not
yeah.
literally, but still.
And
So
doesn't
It's
he
like,
really
you
have to
don't defend
jump?
him. You
yeah.
isolate. I think you don't. I don't think you defend him. I think you isolate him. I mean, make him one dimensional. I mean, take away all of his other tools. Make him the only person to go to. uh,
50, but everybody else gets nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that, I mean, because
Yep, that
that's
might work.
Well,
I don't know,
it's
but you're right. I mean, Wemby, he's a freak. I mean, he's a monster. What do you do with him?
But
well,
the thing about him is he's a good passer too.
Yes, he
So,
is,
Yeah,
and he has range. That's
yeah.
the other thing that's
and a
scary
great
about him,
defender.
and his freaking footwork. I mean, the guy, he actually dribbles like a guard. I mean, my
Yeah.
God,
I saw him cross somebody up, dribble the ball between his legs, cross back the other way, and pop one. I was like, "There's no way a 7 foot, what, 7 foot 5,
7. They say he's 7'5". That's what he's. That's
7'5"
whatever. I mean,
with
once you get past 7'3", does it really matter?
right.
And look,
Right? Yeah.
you can't
Tall as
tell the
fuck.
difference.
That's all I know. You know.
Like
yeah,
so.
exactly. I mean, when he's actually meeting somebody, at the 3-point line, I mean, it's going to be maybe a power forward that's going to be like 6'6", 6'5". He's going to reach way the fuck over that guy. I mean, how do you block that? What do you do?
So
Mhm.
no, there's really only one way you can do it, and there's not too many teams that can do this. Is that somebody who can defensively make him work? That's it. And there's only a few. There's only like maybe 3 or 4 centers in the league right now who can do that.
Are you talking about bodying him up?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the only thing that scares me about Wemby, is the fact is his durability.
Right.
I mean, at some point, is somebody going to get really fucking physical with him?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
But there's not too many teams that can. Right.
well, we
And
kind of
there's no
saw that with
Shaqs left in the NBA. Who we talking about?
Who?
Yeah.
Well, maybe
That's what I'm saying. So
Zion.
like
Zion?
Jokic. So Jokic could. He has the
Jokic?
girth to do it.
Jokic
Giannis
plays around the
could.
3-point line.
Well, right, but he does have skills on the low block, right?
You're right. You're right.
But
He does, but
Well, we
okay.
saw it in their second game against the Pels. Where Zion
Zion,
actually
he tried.
he
Yeah.
tried. And so I think that could potentially be a rivalry in the making.
The best defender in the league to go up against him is Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis got given the business.
Well,
So,
I mean,
You
he's
think so?
long of
You
the
think that
two.
Anthony Davis can hold his?
Well, first of all,
no, but I'm saying Anthony Davis has the height and the speed to keep up with him on the defensive end.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And
maybe Evan Mobley.
he still gave him the business. Is what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
even Anthony Davis didn't do anything to stop
Well,
him.
yeah, but like I said, like I'm not saying he's on like a complete decline, but he's approaching 30. He's had a whole bunch of injuries and stuff like that. And you meet a phenom like that, if this was like 4 or 5 years ago, I probably would see that. But I would say now you're probably looking like the Evan Mobley's, maybe Paulo Banchero, Şengün from Houston. Jokic, at least offensively, can make him work, on the defensive end, right?
Yeah.
And I would say Embiid, but I I heard it on the show last week. He's turned himself into processed cheese, so he's not necessarily the best option anymore. So, but yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see for the Spurs fans here, and good luck finding the ticket, right?
Well, damn, hater. I mean, imagine if the lottery didn't happen. Man, what could have been? My goodness.
Do you know who Wemby reminds me of though? Or
You know what?
I'm sorry, is a cross between Hakeem Olajuwon and Kevin Garnett. That's who he
Well,
reminds
it's
me of.
funny.
Okay.
It's funny you should say that.
You
It's funny
actually
you should say that because this offseason, he got tutelage. He got dribbling tutelage from Jamal Crawford. He got defensive work. He got defensive work from Kevin Garnett, and then he got footwork, lessons from Hakeem Olajuwon. So funny you say that because that's exactly who he went to.
I didn't know that.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to be a little bit of a dick, but anyway.
Oh yeah, you were. No. And you, Angry Joey, for saying that nonsense. You know how sensitive I get about that. All right,
Shots fired.
okay.
Hey, the lottery is bullshit. I completely agree.
Yeah, Lowry's bullshit, and Wemby should be a Piston. And thank you for bringing that back up, ass.
Yeah. And for Dallas, at one point they had the lowest offensive rating in the league. Like they are looking bad. I think
They
at the
need Kyrie
bottom
back.
of the ratings.
That's the thing.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what is up with that? Because I mean, going back to the Spurs because they made the Mavericks their bitch on that game one. My God, I mean,
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And okay, so here's the other question. What's his name? Castle? Do you think he's legit?
Yes, he's
Okay.
really good.
Who?
I watched him in person twice last year. He's really good.
Who?
He's really good.
Who? Who?
Yeah, but again,
Castle.
Oh, Castle.
Yeah.
Are people hearing me? Like, who the hell are you guys talking about? Yeah, he's pretty good.
Sorry, my bad. But but yeah, we and look Woo Pig, please. I'm gonna need you to calm down. The NBA has only been active for a week. Okay, it's only been a week.
Yep.
Let's.
Yep.
I mean, your boy's looking good right now, but can we get to Thanksgiving first? That's all I have.
I'll hold off till mid-November. That's when LeBron comes back, and then it's over.
And then all the drama starts.
Then
But
all the
I
shit
think we all
starts.
I think we all need to take that advice. I mean, just as much as I love my Spurs, we'll see. Yeah, they've got 4 games down.
Yeah,
well, there's a hell of a lot more basketball to go. So let me
there
talk
is.
to you again in mid-December. When shit gets real.
Yeah. Speaking of shit getting real, let's transition to college football. Let's stay with you, Will Pig. Come on, man. What you got for us?
All right. Well, let's start us out. So week 9, there wasn't a ton of movement in the top 25, but there were some big ones. So let's start out up in Nashville this past Saturday. Missouri traveled to take on Vanderbilt, which became a key SEC West test game for both programs. Entering the
was a big
game,
game.
Vanderbilt was ranked 10th. Missouri was ranked 15th, and Vanderbilt ended up winning 17-10. Vanderbilt held on in a low-scoring turnover-heavy game, and the Missouri starting quarterback left with an injury and was carted off on a wheelchair. So Missouri had a last-ditch drive that ended short of the goal line as time expired, which allowed Vanderbilt to keep their dark horse playoff SEC contender narrative alive. So it was a great game. It was a gritty,
Yeah.
17-10 game.
I was surprised, man. I didn't think it was like so that's the first game I kind of watched with Vanderbilt. Dude, they're good, man.
Yeah.
They're good in all phases. So
And they move
wow.
up to number 9 now. So
Vanderbilt, bro. They haven't had
Yeah.
winning season since the 1960s, I think, or something like that.
Yeah,
One of those crazy
they haven't been in. It's been in. I think. Well, it's been. I think at least that long since they've been in the top 10. So
Yeah, something like that.
It's nice. They're doing well. So as being a dark horse and an underdog, I always pull for them. So
Well, you're SEC no matter what, so I get that.
yeah, but I'm pulling against them on other SEC teams too. But I also like I also like to pull for Missouri because they're also kind of an underdog. So but
Hold on. See,
because I'm a
keep
fan
going.
of the game. We have this argument all the time with Hater. I love college football, and I pull for my Hogs against everyone else. But then I also pull for certain teams inside the SEC when they play other SEC teams, and then I always pull for the SEC team if they play somebody outside of the SEC. So that's how my tiered approach is because when I watch a game, I always got to pick somebody to pull for. I can't just hate both teams and want the.
Yes, you can. What are you talking about?
Well, then why are you watching the game if you hate them both?
It's
That's
called
like-
hate
that's like-
watching.
He
That's the
cheers for
point.
Ohio State because Michigan isn't in the title game, but there's a team from the Big 12. He's going to go for Ohio State. Hell no, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Yeah,
Never.
dude. I'll tell you what, Pig. You and your tiered cheering system is
Yeah.
about as bad as Mr. Winner and his side pieces. Y'all,
Oh,
Yeah,
No,
I don't
no,
understand
no,
this,
no,
man.
no, no, no.
Oh,
Look,
there we
I don't
go.
understand.
There we go. Let's get
I'm
it. Come on now.
I'm
Come
a
on. I want to hear this.
diehard Razorback fan, but I'll be damned if I'm going to watch a game and just hate on everybody. I'm going to pick some reason
Yes, you
to
don't.
pull
That's the whole point of
for
college
one of the
football.
teams to win, and all you do is you have a team that you want to lose less than the other. That's all the difference is. You're still pulling for a team. So, anyways, the point is, I could have favorites outside of my beloved Razorbacks as long as they're not playing the Razorbacks.
So let me
That I
ask you
want to
this,
see do
Sal.
well.
Are
How's
you
that
actually
any different than a side piece?
It's
Oh,
not a
hold
side
on now.
piece.
Hold on. It's not a side piece.
No.
Let me ask you this: Are you just
Woo pig.
picking or excuse me, Woo Pig? Are you choosing the lesser of two evils, or are you actually rooting for somebody?
Well, Vanderbilt, they've always been, stepping stone, to get beat up in the SEC. So it's
Doormat.
nice to see, doormat, whatever you want to call them. So it's nice to see them be successful. And
Okay.
So it's not the lesser of two evils. I genuinely, especially because Arkansas didn't play Vanderbilt this year. So yeah, I genuinely am happy if Vanderbilt does well because who saw that coming? That's crazy, So
Okay.
So you like a
Oh.
Cinderella
I would-
story? What you like?
I would much rather Vanderbilt win than a Georgia or Alabama. I am sick of those teams winning. I would much rather it be an Ole Miss or an A&M or a Vanderbilt at the end of the year
Can I ask?
instead of a
I
Georgia or an Alabama.
I
Okay.
swear, this is my last question, so we get to the rest of the rundown.
Yeah.
But while you're cheering for Vanderbilt and how they've had to come up, where's Arkansas in all of this?
Dude, we just lost our coach. We're one of the worst teams in the SEC this year. There's no two shades about it. We're gonna have to get a new coach.
So he
and
needs him
rebuild.
a side piece to keep him happy.
No.
No. There's only
I-
one of those freaking flip floppers.
Yeah.
among this group.
I ain't ever won a jersey from no other team other than the Arkansas Razorbacks. Mr. Raider with your Colts jersey,
Yeah.
matching
Yeah, that's true.
shoes and hat.
true.
Like you come in,
Yeah.
in full Colts gear.
Man,
Adam.
those are the days, Renee. Those are the
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Now I'm just down to a fucking busted ass outfit and
Yeah,
crying every day.
you were wearing white and blue. It looked good. Now you just got to wear that shitty black and white, and just like it's
Black
like,
and white. See, you don't even
or
fucking
or
know.
the silver and white. What is the Raiders color?
There you go.
I never actually see them on
I'll
Sundays.
give you some time to look it up.
so-
I'll give you some time to
Black
look it
and
up.
white. That's awesome. Yeah.
No.
What is it?
Holy
What is it?
shit.
Is it silver or is it silver and black? Silver and black, right?
Silver
Yeah.
black.
Silver and
Oh.
black. Okay. All right. Silver and black.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right,
please, everybody in the chat, please leave a comment if you believe your fandom has enough room for another team, and if it is, please let us know who that is. Please.
Again, to the audience, I don't have another team, but I am a fanatic when it comes to college football. I get up, I sit down, and I watch college football from like 11 o'clock until midnight, and I'm watching games throughout the day, just like these fanatics watch, the NFL on Sundays. So I do that on Saturdays with my college football. So I'm not going to sit there and just hate on every single team. I got to pick a reason to enjoy the game. So
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. There's certain
Oh,
teams that
sounds fun.
you hate, and then there's certain teams that you just don't hate.
yeah.
Oh, what the fuck, Joey? Really? Angry
No,
Joe, you're gonna be this nice with this shit
No,
going on right
no,
now.
I
You
mean,
gave me the fucking business 2 podcasts ago about side piece, and you're gonna do this? Really?
Okay. No, okay, so my point is, and I've talked about this before, like the Raiders, I will hate them forever. They are, they're the devil. But I hate the fucking Raiders. But there are teams that I don't hate, but teams that but these are the teams that I will never root for. Give you a good example, like the Texans. I actually like the Texans. I like them. I'll never root for them or anything like that. Because I'm never gonna root for any team
Bruh,
other
that's
than
the
my Broncos.
definition of a side piece. You
No,
don't.
no. See,
No, it's not a
if
side
you bought,
piece.
you have to. Okay,
It's not
you
a
have to
side piece.
buy- You have to buy paraphernalia for it to be a side piece.
Yeah.
That's a qualification.
No, it
Yeah.
don't matter. Like, what if you're too poor to buy a fucking paraphernalia? Then what? What's your excuse then?
Well,
Oh,
then you're too
horseshit.
poor to have a
You know
side
what?
piece.
Why the fuck would I
If you
actually
can't,
ever
if you
buy a
can't take her out to
fucking,
dinner, then you can't have a
Texas
side piece.
What if you can only take her to McDonald's where she can pick from the value menu?
Well, then
You
buy
know
a
what I'm saying?
keychain. Buy a keychain. You got to have something.
What if I can take her to the gas station and only get a chip and maybe a soda or something?
that-
Like,
that's a
Okay,
stick.
so that makes you a that's what it does.
Yeah.
well, if I'm paying for it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
exactly. You're paying for
All
it.
right, I'm gonna keep
All
going.
right, we don't went way down the rabbit hole. We gotta keep moving.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So the next game heading into Norman, the Rebels of Ole Miss made the trip to take on Oklahoma, and it was not a pretty game. Ole Miss ranked number 8, Oklahoma ranked number 13. Ole Miss beat Oklahoma 34-26, but it really wasn't that close. Ole
That's
Miss
actually
really put a
pretty
spanking on
questionable,
them.
don't you think? Well, what happened to OU? I mean,
Okay.
Whoopee.
Yeah, go ahead.
what's going on with them, Whoopig? OU.
I don't know.
Hey,
I
God,
don't know.
they just kind of dropped off a cliff, didn't they?
They did. I
I
guess
think
they were
that
full of
Texas
gold.
loss did something to him.
It did, right? Like
Yeah.
they haven't looked the same since. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is, but man, yeah. The quarterback for Ole Miss threw for 315 yards and rushed for another 53. He just gave them business. It was bad. So,
Wow.
but that's Ole Miss's offense, man. They're clicking on all cylinders. Lane Kiffin, you see the memes everywhere about him, going to Texas or going to LSU. Like
Fuck
he's
that.
he's why do you say that?
Because LSU, no, stay the fuck away from that. Even Kirby knows that. Coach Kirby Smart knows that.
But
No.
between that and in Florida, I would take the LSU job on Florida.
Fuck no. I would take Florida because they don't have an unrealistic expectation there like LSU does. I
At
mean,
Florida? Yes, they do.
yeah, but
They're
it's not
just as
delusional like LSU.
Oh,
LSU,
I
they
know
expect
they
you to win a championship every fucking year.
Well,
No.
to their credit, the last 3 head coaches did bring them a championship. So
After
If
after in the 4th season or something like that,
it doesn't
4
matter.
years or whatever. But yeah,
The last 3 brought championships to LSU. The only one that has it in the past 4 is Brian Kelly. Thank you very much.
no, well,
It
fuck
couldn't
him.
happen.
But I don't.
Couldn't
I
happen
don't.
to a better guy.
Right, I don't cheer for anybody's firing, but that one,
Yeah.
I show shit, look, and smiled.
Yeah.
So
No, so here's the thing about LSU. So the biggest hotbeds for recruiting are Texas, Florida, Georgia, and LSU or in Louisiana. So of those 4 locations, LSU is the only large university in the state of Louisiana. So they have a wall around that recruiting zone. So it's not as big as Texas or Georgia or Florida, but LSU gets all of the talent out of that area. So they have a natural recruiting edge over the Florida schools, over the Texas schools, even over Georgia because Georgia shares with Georgia Tech and all the states around it. So that's why LSU is so appealing for most coaches to go and try and win there is because of that built-in talent pool.
I don't know. I think Lane Kiffin should stay at Ole Miss because that's his program. He's leading it. I mean, he seems like he got it where it needs to be. I would just stay there, man. Do something.
Oh, I would agree.
Ole Miss is never. Well, shit. I don't want to say never, but it's been a minute since they won a chip, right? So
Yeah.
what he's doing is
I
spectacular.
know they
over
haven't
there.
won anything in my lifetime.
No,
Right, mine too. So
yeah, I don't know if they've ever won a chip,
I
but
don't either.
but you're right, and I completely agree. But if he was to leave, of the available jobs right now, I think LSU is the best option. But I agree with you. I hope he stays where he's at. I hope he doesn't go anywhere. And you can already see he's getting annoyed with like fans and stuff talking about it because I think somebody said at the last game that he was at OU, the OU student section was doing the gator chomp when he was walking by
Oh my
Huh?
god. Oh my god.
to symbolize that he was going to leave and go to Florida. So
That's
crazy.
crazy.
People are already messing with him.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So for the next game in Starkville, Texas took on Mississippi State in what became a roller coaster of a game. And there might be some quarterback drama at the end of it. So, number 22, Texas took on an unranked Mississippi State. They were down bad in the 4th quarter to the point to where I started clowning on them, and then they ended up able to come back, tie the game, and then win it in overtime with the final of 45-38. So, Texas actually rose 2 spots to number 20 in the country. Manning threw for a career high 346 yards, 3 touchdown passes, plus a rushing touchdown. But he left the game in overtime with a concussion, and his backup, Matthew Caldwell, came in and threw the game-winning touchdown to seal overtime. And it said that going into next game, Arch Manning is probably going to be out, and Caldwell is going to be the quarterback going in. So their next game, I believe, is against is number 9 Vanderbilt. So,
Oops.
Oh, that's okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
So if Caldwell goes in there and gets the victory win and looks good, get ready.
Bro.
Get
Yeah.
ready for that drama.
Bro.
Get ready
Yep.
for them to start talking about how Arch Manning needs to get benched. It will happen, I guarantee you.
Well,
Yeah.
on the flip side of that, though, I find it mighty peculiar that there's rumors floating around that Steve Sarkisian might be looking at possibly jumping to the NFL.
I saw that too. That's really strange to me. I would never leave a Texas job.
How could man look? Now I will say that we do have a local. We have a person that's in our friend group that is a very big Texas fan, and they made mention about the fact that the whole Manning situation, right? And Woo Pig, you said that, hey, the transfer portal is awaiting him, right?
Yeah.
But the flip side to that argument has been that, given the fact of the name on the back and the legacy that comes with it, and the fact that, football royalty has selected Texas and Sarkeesian for this young man, and the idea that he would leave to go somewhere else is a little bit like far-fetched given the fact of what type of power that commands. So all I'm saying is I kind of think like, with the Texas boosters and stuff like that, and now they have football royalty attached to their program, it might be a little hard for them to, not gravitate towards him and, to ride that wave, if you know what I mean?
You could be right. I think Sarkeesian's a great coach. I'm
Yes.
not I'm not a fan of Texas, but Sarkeesian's good. Uh,
Yeah.
and there's not many jobs better than the Texas job,
Well,
in my opinion.
look what he did for Alabama when he was there,
Yeah.
right? Really good. Did he go to the NFL at all, Hater? I thought he went and been a coordinator or a consultant there
Who?
for a minute.
Who,
Didn't
Sark?
Didn't Sark do that?
Yeah. Alabama for a little while, they were the USC head coach rehabilitation program.
Yeah, I'm
They had
saying,
Lane
but
Kiffin, Sark, all them. Yeah.
talking about that, but I'm saying, didn't he do something with the NFL too? I thought he did something
Or
there as
no.
well. So I
Yeah,
thought
because
that
I thought the headline I saw was Sark contemplating a second stint in the NFL. So
Okay. I'll double check that real quick.
maybe he was
Yeah.
a coordinator or something.
I think he was or a consultant, man, but
Either way, I'd be very surprised if Sarkeesian left, but my foretelling of where colleges are gonna go with their coaches has been way off this year, as you'll see in the next topic we have, but man, I don't know. It We've never had a Manning situation, like, where they've had royalty like this, so we'll see what happens, but it's gonna be interesting.
Oh,
I'm definitely gonna watch that game next week. So,
absolutely.
yeah, I found it. So he had 2 stints. He was a quarterback coach with the Raiders in '04, and he was an offensive coordinator with the Falcons from 2017 to 2018. So,
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
it was. Okay.
okay, alright.
I don't know.
Well, cool. Alright.
good pull, Mr. Raider. Good pull.
So our next to last game that we want to talk about was Saturday night in Baton Rouge. Number 3 Texas A&M rolled into Tiger Stadium to face number 20 LSU, and the Aggies were able to take over Death Valley in short order. It was quite the beatdown. The final was Texas A&M 49, LSU 25, and
It
because
wasn't
of
even that
that,
close.
yeah, because of that, A&M remains undefeated and ranked number 3 in the country. LSU drops out of the playoff conversation completely. And after the game, Brian Kelly, the coach of LSU, was fired. So,
Oh,
yeah, I know we had talked about Brian Kelly earlier in the year, and I said I thought it was a year too early. But it's looking like here's the thing I don't think I took into account. I think that the boosters have gained a lot of power in college football because now it's all about NIL dollars. And if the boosters aren't going to provide that cash, then they have to immediately start listening, I think, to the boosters when they start talking about getting rid of players. And from what I'm hearing in the background, Brian Kelly's a and he
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
get along
Oh, yeah.
well with the boosters. He didn't schmooze well with them. The boosters didn't like him. The fan base didn't like him.
yeah, that's what I heard
Nobody
too.
liked Brian Kelly. So
Right.
when the boosters essentially come to you and say, "We're not gonna donate next year until you get rid of this," I think the university listened. And
Listen, they hate you so bad they're gonna pay you $100 million just to fire your ass.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Well, 54
yep,
for his buyout, but if you include all the other coaches that, was on there,
yep,
but they're gonna pay you $54 million to get the hell out of the door.
to
Get out.
not play for you. Yeah.
Yeah. You're worn out, you're welcome.
Yep.
But here's the other thing too, and it's starting to come out now that he's up out of there. But the level of this man is out of this world. Like, so some of the major stories that came out of LSU the last couple years, off the field type stuff, right? So like Kyron Lacy. We know the story about him.
That's mine
Um,
right there. That was mine right there.
yeah,
That made
like
me say like, that guy.
yeah, Brian Kelly never reached out to the family at all, at all.
Wow.
Throughout that
Asshole.
whole ordeal. That's I mean, come on. And then my man, I forgot the young man's name. Forgive me, but that really got hurt and stuff like that. He never did not reach out to the young man or his family, anything like that, right? So he really truly epitomized that whole fake ass family voice. Like he really epitomized that. He
Actually,
tried to
Raider, you actually tapped in on this one a few podcasts ago. Talking about how somebody really got hurt bad, and that Brian Kelly didn't do anything about it.
yeah. Didn't
That's
show
what
any
he's.
empathy or
I
anything.
think you tapped into that one, didn't you?
Yep.
I
I sure did.
I don't remember the young man's name, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be a bad coach, but it's a totally different thing to be a bad human being.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Yeah.
what Brian Kelly is.
Yeah.
100%.
And he just didn't fit the culture there. Like he didn't fit. It was oil and water. It was just it didn't go well. He was 34-14 over his 4 seasons there.
Yeah.
But against top 25 opponents, he was 5-11.
You know what
So-
else? You know what else drives me crazy about him? That man walked around like he was Nick Saban or something.
Right?
He's
Well,
won
yes, he
did.
multiple chips. Like, bro,
And I-
sit your fucking ass down. You have not won anything.
No,
No.
You know what I'm saying?
no.
And
He had
see, I hate him for a different reason, I mean, and he just kept adding to it, by
Yes.
doing stupid head shit like that, I mean, but when he actually walked out on my Irish in the middle of the fucking playoffs,
Yes.
Oh yeah, dude. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
I mean, who the fuck does that? I mean, my God, I mean, that is such a level of disrespect that just knows no bounds.
And it
I
was
mean,
such a
this guy
stupid
is
move,
such
too.
a worthless piece of vile shit that I just can't even quantify. So I mean,
Well,
I never want to see anybody ruined or anything like that. I never want to see anybody lose their job. But in this one, how can you feel it anything other than justified?
well, shit. I think it's
yeah.
official. The 210 show only hates Brian Kelly. That's
Yeah.
it.
Correct.
Not LSU,
yeah.
just Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and to be honest, though, he did you a favor because I like your current coach a whole heck of a lot more.
Oh,
than
yeah.
that.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But now it took 2 years for it to, be realized,
Yeah.
because I mean, there were the jury was still out on him, but nevertheless, but Brian Kelly, he left Notre Dame in quite a pinch, for 2 years at least,
Yeah.
until the, but yeah, we definitely have our coach now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
good for
Well,
him.
I will-
And I think Brian Kelly's done. I don't think all the rumors say that he's done coaching, that he's just going to retire.
Good. You
And,
think he's
I mean-
cooked? Do you think he's totally cooked? I mean,
well,
he's getting a check from LSU for until like
Yeah.
2032.
yeah,
So,
So,
800K a month.
come on.
damn.
Come on.
Can a brother borrow like $20?
Yeah.
Shit.
So,
Not from him.
and if
He'll,
he,
he'll step on you first.
and if he gets another job, whatever his salary is at the new job, it reduces his buyout. So for him to get a new
Oh.
job, he's essentially working that new job for free,
Oh.
including broadcasting. So broadcasting is yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
good.
Broadcasting is added in it, so he can't go work for ESPN or Fox Sports.
Good.
Whatever their salary is will also get reduced.
Praise God. Yeah,
Yeah.
get him up out of here.
So he's done. He's done. I think he's going to go fish. But
Yeah.
anywho, enough about that dude. Last thing I just want to talk about, and I just bring this up because I know how much Raider loves him. Colorado faced Utah and fell 53-7.
Oh.
At halftime,
Man.
it was 43-0. That was a big.
And that's not even the
Massive.
whole story. They had negative
it's not.
17 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
Bro,
okay,
yeah.
so
Oh.
Raider, I gotta tell you, man. Hager and I were having a little bit of a conversation today. Do you think that Deion is cooked?
No, and I can tell you why, but I'll wait for you to finish and then I'll jump in.
No. I'm just
Oh,
asking. I don't know the specifics because I don't
I'll
watch that team
because
at all.
for several reasons, 3 reasons, right? The first reason is that it's Colorado. Okay,
Yeah.
nobody wants to go and play in Colorado. Colorado was a fucking dumpster wasteland before Deion got there.
1-11.
Losing program, yeah, just trash. Couldn't recruit, couldn't get anybody, none of that stuff. What Deion did, Coach Prime, he came there and put Colorado on the map again, just because he's Coach Prime, and he's changed a lot of the things there and brought some talent. So I think his problem, and this is why he's not going to get fired. His problem is because there's not enough booster money there to get him the top talent. If you gave him LSU's budget or Ohio State's budget, oh man, come on. They can barely pay him. So I don't think so because nobody else is going to be able to bring that kind of attention to Colorado. So if Florida is smart, they will go after Dion hard. If Florida's smart,
So I said that if this was pre NIL, I think Coach Prime would be far more successful at Colorado because then you got recruits based off of coach personality,
right? Yeah,
culture, fit, you know,
point.
and ability to get into the NFL, right? Since the NIL, now it's about how many dollars you can pay them. So a lot of that like cult personality that Prime brings to the table gets nullified by the fact that he can't pay him as much in the NIL era. So I agree with you. I don't think Colorado would be stupid to fire him, but I don't think he's going to stay at Colorado for very long.
He'll probably give it 2 more years, maybe 2 more. I think that's
I
what he'll probably do.
I don't know
Yeah.
if he keeps on this slide, maybe a year, and depending on how many jobs opening up, and
Yeah.
if a Florida or somebody like that offered Coach Prime a job, I think he would leave. So
Yeah,
I
and
I think
and
it all yeah, I think it's all predicated on his overall health.
yeah, and it's literally breaking my heart, man, to see that this is happening to him at this program
Yes.
because, bro, he really is a good coach, man. He really is. He's
Yes.
he's won at all levels that he's coached at. Even went to HBCU, man, and turned them around, at
He
Jackson
did.
State.
He did.
So,
Yep.
dude, he's a good coach, man, and like, have you seen his staff that he's assembled for Colorado?
Yes.
Man, top
Which
notch,
is
man.
and to be honest, and that's why I'll only push back only a little bit on this, and it's because I saw the clip of during that game where I'm not sure the quarterback's name, but he and the center were getting in an
K-Salt.
argument in the middle of the play.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, that was Seaton. Jordan Seaton was getting on his ass like, "Yo, man, let's go. We're gonna run this play, get us in the right spot." And
yeah,
he wasn't. So yeah, K-Salt
oh,
is it. Look, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, he needs to tell his boosters, whoever the heck it is, I need a blank check so I can go get me a number one QB out here somewhere.
but
That's
if
what he
they
needs to
can't,
do.
but if they can't produce it, then it's like this is my hope, and I don't know how far fetched it is. I just hope that one of these other bigger schools at least put out in the press that they're looking at Coach Prime, so that way it will generate the incentive for Colorado to keep him, or he leaves and goes somewhere else. Because you're right, if he doesn't have if he doesn't have the resources to adequately put a team together, even though he's not in the SEC or the Big Ten, the fact that he can't get that type of resources to actually compete in the Big 12, that's a problem.
Yeah.
now, how's his health situation? Because wasn't he dealing with like blood clots and
Yes,
cancer or
and,
something?
Yeah.
yes, that is a constant issue right now. I
Yeah.
think it was like a month ago. He had to get emergency surgery or something like that.
Yeah. I think he had his bladder removed or something. It
Something. Yeah,
was
Ooh.
cancer
yeah,
on his bladder.
yeah.
But the stress from losing can't be good for him. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
can't.
So
No.
and does that did Florida State, do they still need a coach or are they
Yes,
rocking
they,
with
yes, I believe they do. Yes,
yeah,
they're on the
I'm
list.
gonna get that private jet ready, load it up with cash, and go do what you gotta do.
Yeah, right
Mhm.
now the big ones are Florida, Penn State, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, LSU, and Oklahoma State. Those are the schools right now that have fired their coaches.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Good stuff,
I don't think,
man.
Florida State may
Good
be on the
stuff.
way. The way they're
yeah,
looking. So
That was a good take, man. That's a great question. Good take. All right,
All right,
anything
That's
else
it.
on college
Nope,
football?
that's it for me on college.
All right. All right. Well, Hater with Facts, bring us home with some of this NFL stuff.
yes, sir. We'll get real quick. Just a quick recap on week 8, and I'm just gonna run them down. So number 15, the Minnesota Vikings went to the Chargers on a Thursday night and got their ass whooped 37-10. Then Sunday, the number 20 Chicago Bears went to the Baltimore Ravens minus Lamar Jackson and still got belt to ass 30-16. Then we had the number 9 49ers. They went to the Houston Texans and they took a close loss, 26-15. The number 21 Dallas Cowboys went to the number 11 Denver Broncos and they got a mile-high ass whooping, 44-24. And then to cap it off, Sunday night, the number 4 Green Bay Packers went to the number 16 Pittsburgh Steelers, and they put a whooping on all of Aaron Rodgers' petty, 35-25. And so I think the biggest question out of all of these for me is the Bears-Ravens game. And it's twofold. The first is, can the Ravens actually catch the Steelers? And secondly, how long until Caleb Williams is getting sit on the bench?
Mm. I think, look, if you look at the records in that conference, I think the door is still open for the Ravens, but they have to turn it around now. With Cincinnati looking like trash, Joe Burrow ain't gonna be back till December, maybe.
Maybe. Yep.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
figure it out, man. You know what the hell happened to the Ravens, man? I mean, they've just completely lost their identity, as far as I can tell. You know, I mean, what is it that's actually made the Ravens the Ravens? It's been their defense. You know, I mean, and it's just been non-existent these last few weeks. You know, I can't figure it. You know, they're playing some smash mouth football. You know, when it comes to running between the pipes on the offensive side, you know, with Derrick Henry, you know, I mean, but, you know, with Lamar Jackson out, you know, I mean, that's a huge blow. And they never really had, I mean, outside of maybe Bateman, they don't have a whole lot to throw to. You know, Andrews, he's getting up there in age, you know, so I mean, is he
Jay
really
Flowers to some
reliable?
degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, the Ravens, they're just a weird team. The Steelers, you know, that whole division is just odd. I think Cleveland still,
Injuries.
yeah,
It's-
a lot of injuries. I think that Cleveland still finishes last. Cincinnati, who the fuck knows, man?
Well,
You know,
I got a different take on Cleveland, but I'll wait till you're done.
anyway, that was it. You know, I mean, I don't know what to make of the Ravens at this point. I just don't know.
I will
I
say
think-
something that's very interesting in terms of the Ravens defense, right? Now they've been ran over, ran on, and everything else for the last like 5 weeks. But then they played the Rams right before their bye and held them to 17 points, which was kind of, surprising, right? Now, even though they didn't have Puka, but still, they still held a very high scoring Rams team to 17 points. And then, without Lamar Jackson, that defense still stood up. They stood up, bowled their backs and held the Bears to 16 points. Maybe they're turning the corner. I don't know. But
Well-
given the free fall of right now with the Steelers and what they're looking like and their defense looking like ass, it's almost like they switched places. Now the Steelers defense can't stop nobody and the Ravens are over here stopping people. So they
Well,
definitely got a shot.
remember though, the Ravens, they were dealing with a lot of defensive injuries as well. Like a
Mhm.
lot of
Yeah,
their
that's true.
players.
Yeah.
Both of their starting safeties out, injuries, stuff like that. So they're
Bosa and all those guys, yeah.
yeah, so you gotta remember that too. I mean, there's no excuses. You still gotta perform, right? But that's an indicator. And then quickly on the Caleb, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to because it's gonna take them some time, man, to get this. He's with a new coordinator again, and again, it's give him some time, give him some rep. I think and I'm not a Caleb Williams fan at all. I'm really not. But look at all the quarterbacks that the Bears have gone through. They're just like as worse as Cleveland. Okay. But speaking of
Yeah.
Cleveland, if Cleveland throws in Shador Sanders, I think then yes, I think they would probably win the division. With that defense that's keeping teams low score and you put Shador in there, Dylan Gabriel's not the answer. Period.
Okay,
Don't
we're
agree.
really touching
Don't
something.
agree. Don't agree.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. But
Good part.
real quick on Caleb though, here's the only reason why I disagree. First of all, that pick that he threw, it was cover
Yeah,
three. It was
it was
cover
bad.
three. The running back was open underneath as the coverage dictates. That's where he should have went to. They had a robber right there waiting for it, and he threw it right to him. And then in the post game press conference, Caleb Williams thought that was the right route to take. But Ben Johnson was like, "No, you should have took the running back," which is absolutely correct because he was wide open. And the look on his face, the look on Ben Johnson's face after that pick happened, indicates to me, given the fact that I know how he operates, he's not going to tolerate this for very much longer. I give him one more game, maybe two. If he does this stuff where he's not executing the plays the way they're supposed to be, and not being on the same page as far as what reads should be against particular coverage, what they're expecting, and he's not looking at it correctly, I think he's going to pull the plug. And they already signed Bajent to an extension, so if he's not careful, he's going to be riding pond.
You might be right. You might
Oh,
be.
and as far as Cleveland goes, man, Stefanski's already he ain't putting that man in. He ain't putting
Yeah,
Shador in at all. It doesn't matter. Like we know what wrong looks like right now, and it's Dylan
yeah,
Gabriel.
yeah.
Come
Even
on.
Myles Garrett is starting to lose his shit now on the sideline
Woo!
too. So yeah,
Okay. And I put a fun fact on that, right? So he had five sacks, right?
crazy.
The last individual on a team to have 5 or more sacks in a loss was 1990, Derek Thomas.
Damn.
He had 7 in a loss. But even then, they put up 17 points. These dudes had 32 points ran on them, and they can only put up 13, and Myles Garrett has 5 sacks.
Yeah. What can you
But
say?
hey, enjoy that 40 million there, Myles Garrett. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I actually have a conspiracy theory on as to why Joe Flacco was traded. I think Barry is trying to force this year. I think Haslam told Stefanski, "You are not playing Shador whatsoever." So I think Barry, he knows he's probably going to be fired after this year. So
Mm,
he's making these moves. He traded Kenny Pickett to the Raiders. Let's think about that for a second.
yep.
Not Shador.
Yep.
So what is the narrative out there? Why are they trading Kenny, not Shador, right?
Yep.
And then he trades Joe Flacco to the Bengals
Mm-hmm.
in
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 division.
conference. You know what I'm
In
saying?
division.
Yeah. So I think Barry is trying to, again. I don't have no proof. This is just speculation, but I think he's trying to force the switch. But
Yeah.
Haslam has probably told Stefanski, "Don't you dare."
I think you're on the right track though. I was thinking the same thing because I'm like, that's the only possible way that can even remotely make sense.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Woodpig, I don't know if you had anything to add on any of the games or these two subjects here.
No, I'm good right now.
Okay. Oh well, we got to open up the floor to Angry Joey. I know you got something to say about your boy the Broncos, man.
What's there to be said? Okay, so I mean, we said that it was going to be a shootout, and it certainly was. I think that we all collectively said that it was going to be a game like this. And the only problem was that we actually said which Broncos were going to get the most yards, the most touchdowns, and stuff like that. Well, we were all right about the number of touchdowns. We were just wrong about the players. Troy Franklin, cashed in on 3 fucking touchdowns. I mean, who would have thought that was going to happen? Or excuse me, 2 touchdowns, and then RJ Harvey cashed in with 3. I
Yeah.
mean, shit. What do you say? I mean, I was half expecting a little bit more of a defensive struggle from the Cowboys, but alas for the Cowboys, it didn't work out. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I mean, but I am most pleased with the outcome.
Okay. Well, that's been a humble Angry Joey today. You've been the most humble Bronco fan I've ever seen in my life. But that's okay. But we can move on.
Well, I
Don't
disagree with one
don't get it
statement he
twisted.
said. He
Yeah,
said,
don't get
I'm
it
sorry.
twisted. I actually gave shit to where shit was due. I mean, to some of my my Cowboy colleagues. But anyway, at the
The,
end
the
of the
only The only thing I disagree with when he said it was a gunfight, well, yeah, one team brought a gun, the other brought a water pistol.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so yeah, the game was not as close as people thought, because the last touchdown that the Bronco, or excuse me, the Cowboys had was a giveaway, but hey, man, whatever.
A
Yeah.
win's a win. All right, what's the next game?
All right. So now we're on to our week 9 games of the week. So week 9 games of the week. So we're from this point forward, just for the audience, we know previously we were doing 5 games, but now we're only gonna do 3. So for this week, the biggest game I would think on the slate is the number 5 Kansas City Chiefs. They go to the number 2 Buffalo Bills this week. The Chiefs, I mean, they got a free square last week. They played the Commanders team without Jaden Daniels, and they won 28-7. And the Bills, I believe they were coming off of their bye, if I'm not mistaken. So they'll be fresh and ready to go and ready to introduce another Chiefs team. So I'll be real. I haven't been too impressed with the Bills this year. Nothing really impressing to me. And now you got the Chiefs coming in, and they're riding high. I mean, they've had a couple of, I'm not gonna say they got a couple of easy games, but I mean, they've had a couple free squares to lead up to this game, and I think they're gonna be a buzzsaw. I normally it's tradition that that the Bills will beat the Chiefs in the regular season, and they turn around and they lose to the Chiefs in the postseason. But I don't think that's gonna happen this time. I think the Chiefs are gonna roll in there, and I think they're gonna beat them down. I'm seeing 30-24 Chiefs here.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I think the Bills' luck is going to run out in mid-December. I don't like the way they're winning.
I think this is going to be
too. I mean, just because the Bills, just their offense looks kind of anemic, and a little bit unpredictable. The Chiefs are, gosh, dang man, this hurts me to say, but they are on the upward trajectory. Yeah, I got to go with the Chiefs on this one.
Yeah.
Well, just to be contrarian, I'll go with the Bills by a field goal. They are at home, and they do have a history of winning the regular season. So I'll say it's a close win. The Bills by 3.
All right.
Chiefs by double digits.
Chiefs will go. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right. Next game is the number 10 Indianapolis Colts. They go to the number 15 Pittsburgh Steelers. The Colts are 7-1. I repeat, the Colts are 7-1, and they are going to the 4-3 Pittsburgh Steelers.
At what point do we actually start saying that the Colts are a team to reckon with?
Look who they're playing, though.
I get it. They beat the Broncos. I'm just saying.
One good team.
First of all, they beat the Broncos by a field goal that they shouldn't have had. Let's be real. Let's be real. The context of that game did not emulate what should have happened. All right. But in this particular case, though, it's the Colts versus the Steelers. And unfortunately, you guys were right. I tried to, I tried to predict that Aaron Rodgers' pettiness would carry the day against the Packers. It did not. I was wrong. You guys are right. And I refuse to go with Aaron Rodgers from this point forward. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to lean on Daniel Jones to actually go into Pittsburgh and actually put a whooping on the Steelers. I think the free fall will continue for Pittsburgh. I see the Colts winning it 30-21.
Okay. That was the only reason why I was asking, because I actually see the Colts smoking the Steelers. I just don't trust the Steelers defense. And I think that the Colts offense is legit.
Yeah, the Colts offense is rolling. Steelers are inconsistent. I agree with the consensus. I have the Colts covering the spread against the Steelers.
Yeah, I got Colts by double digits.
Wow. All right. And so our last game of the week that we're going to profile this week is the number 14 Seattle Seahawks. They are 3.5-point favorites going to the number 13 Washington Commanders. The Commanders, if I remember right, they lost. Yeah, they lost against the Chiefs. Of course, Jaden Daniels didn't play, and the Seahawks are coming off a bye. So normally the West Coast team going to the East Coast for a game is normally a bad idea, but given the fact that it's a bye week, they're probably prepared for this. And it's also a Sunday night game too, so that works to their advantage. And I don't know if Jaden Daniels is going to play. So with
That was
those
gonna be my
two things,
question.
yeah. So with that in mind, I think the Sam Darnold, JSN, and the Seahawks squad go into Washington, and I think they handle Washington pretty easily. I'll go, yeah, I think I'll go no 30 burger. So I'll say 32. I'll say 32-17.
I'll give it to Seattle. Their defense and secondary are good, and without knowing who's going to be the quarterback for Washington, it's hard to pick them. So I'll go Seahawks by a touchdown.
I'm going to echo that, but I think I'm going to give the Seahawks an extra field goal on top of that. I'm going to say at least 21-10.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a bad game for Washington. I think JSN's going to have like 120 with 2 touchdowns. It's just going to be a
Ooh, I hope so.
blowout. It's going to be a blowout.
Hope you're
Yeah.
right.
It's
Yeah,
by double digit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna it's still apocalypse out here for us fantasy football players this week as well. But that takes care of our week 9 games of the week. So that rolls us to our sleeper, stud, duds, and upsets. And just to recap for week 9, after a controversial discussion with the committee, they have awarded Wu Pig with a point. So that gives him number 1 for this week with
That's
12 points.
bullshit. I demand a recount. I'll filibuster this bitch if you don't do it over again.
It's already been recorded, sir. I can't take it back now. It's on wax now, so I can't take it back. All right, but Angry Joey, he's skyrocketed. He now has 11 points. He's in second place. Mr. Raider, you're there with 10 points in third. Tony with Takes is right behind y'all with 8 points, and I'm still in the basement with 7. So I will start it off for us, and I need some points here, and hopefully I can get it. My sleeper of the week is Travis Hunter. I think that the transition to wide receiver, I think it's going to stick around instead of him playing defense. And I think the trade rumors about Brian Thomas Jr. is a little bit, I think it's real. So I think Trevor Lawrence is going to start peppering him in target, and I think he's going to show his athleticism like everybody wanted to. My stud of the week is Jared Goff going up against the Vikings this week. I see them putting a whooping on them. Unfortunately, for JJ McCarthy, he's my Michigan guy, but he's coming up to the Lions Den, and I'm sorry, you're gonna have to take an L today. That day. My dud of the week, I'm going with DK Metcalf. Like I said, I think Karen Rodgers is here to stay, and I think DK Metcalf suffered because of it. And my upset of the week is the Denver Broncos. They're going to Houston. Houston is favored for some odd reason. So I'm going to take that 1.5, and I'm going to run with it. So I got the Broncos as my upset of the week. So with that said, we'll go to our weekly champion, our week 9 champion for today. Woo Pig, what you got?
All right. So my sleeper is Tajay Spears, the running back for Tennessee. He continues to carve out a bigger slice of the backfield each week. He's coming off his best game this season with 9 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown, plus 3 catches for 23 yards. He's facing the Chargers defense, so it's one of the worst in the league against running backs, allowing over 5 yards per carry. So I think he should have a good game this week. So he's my sleeper of the week. My stud is Jim Waddle. He's fully become the wide receiver 1 for the Dolphins. Over the last 4 games, he's top 95 yards. His target share is just skyrocketed since week 6. So he's playing against Baltimore, and their secondary is vulnerable to speed. So they've surrendered the 5th most passing yards per game and the most PPR points per game to wide receivers this year. So I'm going with Jalen Waddle. And then my dud is CeeDee Lamb. He has a brutal matchup against the Arizona defense, which is emerged as like a top 5 pass unit. So the Cardinals have only allowed 1 top 10 wide receiver performance all season. So it's going to be a tough road for CeeDee Lamb this week. So that is my dud. And then my upset pick of the week is the no, that's not right. Hold on. It is the New York Giants over the 49ers. So yeah, the 49ers favored to win. They're at home, but they're just so banged up, man. It eventually has to catch up to the 49ers. I know the Giants lost Sketabo, but Jackson Dart is really starting to step up and play really, really well. So as long as the team can, you know, come together around that injury, and produce, I'm going to call the Giants win 24-21. That'll be my upset of the week.
All right. Thank you, Troy. What you got?
All right. Nice text there, Woo Pig. So for my stud of the week, I actually have Lad McConkey. He's playing against a pretty vulnerable Tennessee team. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. My dud, and this might surprise some of you, but I'm going to say Justin Jefferson because he's actually going to be playing Detroit. Yeah, I mean, he's an amazing receiver, but who the hell's going to throw it to him?
Yeah.
That's my dud by comparison. But and then my sleeper, I'm gonna say Zay Flowers because he's playing against Miami in a very, very weak Miami defense. My upset of the week, and this might shock some of you guys, but I'm gonna say the Bengals are gonna take over the Bears. And those are my takes.
Oh, and just as a side note, applaud to you because you were the only one that picked it just to upset the Bengals last week. So salute to you, sir. I give you that because I thought you were crazy as hell. So
Oh, you're talking about the Jets,
Yeah.
Bengals? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
All right,
Nostradamus. What can I say? I mean, I see into the future. That's what I do.
okay, all right. You take it too far now. All right, Mr. Writer, you are up, sir.
So my sleeper is going to be ETN. They're playing against the Raiders. So we'll see what's going on with that. The Raiders defense isn't the best. I'm going through some shit right now. So I think he's going to have a really good game. My stud I'm going to take Chase Brown at Chicago since the running back from Cincinnati. I think he's going to run, catch. I think he's going to be the reason why they win that game. And then my dud, this might actually surprise a few people. My dud is Bijan Robinson. They're going to New England, playing at New England, and the way that New England's hitting on that defense, they're putting it all together. As much as I hate the Patriots, so
Wow.
I
that's
thought
it.
I thought about making that my dud pick as well.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Back to back
trying.
thinkers. Okay.
And then I'm gonna go for upset. Kind of. You know what? I was gonna do the same thing with the. Let's go with Bengals.
Okay. And that's
I
right.
need a shower.
Yeah. well, Tony Matakes is not here with us tonight, so I'll get his picks offline. But all right. But that
I'm
that
sure
takes care of-
he'll complain about all ours being gimmies.
Oh yeah, Wormset.
Yeah.
Wormset.
With a few expletives in there.
Of
Yeah.
course. All right, but that takes care of our NFL matchups and stud, dud, sleepers, and upsets.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we all know what that means now. We're going to roll right into Kiss My Grits or Alamo Minute. And for our audience, a Kiss My Grits is something that you have a gripe about, something that's annoying, whatever the case is. Could be anyone and everyone that can get it. And then a Alamo Minute is just a shout out, something positive, something that you want to point out, whether it be a business, a restaurant, whatever. So let's go in alphabetical order.
Okay, so I only have I actually have a kiss my grits moment. My kiss my grits moment is to the Toronto fans. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed how you fools chanted that you didn't need Otani in game 2. But if that was the case, why did you beloved Jays feel the need to actually intentionally walk him 4 times and then walk him again for good measure
Get
in
him.
game 3?
Get him, Angry Joey.
have some class, Jays fans, and act like you've been there before. But in the meantime, kiss my grits.
Super Canadian.
Wow. All right.
I love it, man. I love it. All right. I don't really have a Kiss My Grits or a Alamo Minute, so let's hear from me.
All right. So I have both a Kiss My Grits and an Alamo Minute, and they're both college related. Now, my Alamo Minute goes to Coach Prime, specifically because he did something during Colorado's bye week that I have never heard of, especially in today's college football. He knows what's going on with just the landscape of college football, and he was willing to use the school's resources to put on a combine style presentation for all of his guys who are thinking about going to the transfer portal. So that way they'll have a tape put together and sent out to given to the students who decide to lead the program and go through and hop in the transfer portal, and they'll have a professional tape ready for whatever team that they go to. Now, I mean, that's very high class. I mean, you never hear about coaches in college football doing anything of that sort. So regardless of what their record is or anything like that, but the fact that, again, Coach Prime doing those types of things that are outside of the box and ultimately is to the benefit of those that he is coaching, is just top notch to me. And so a salute to you, Coach Prime, for just your innovativeness and your creativity. And whether you stay in Colorado or go to Florida State, hopefully, if they're smart, it just a tremendous job on your part. Now, my Kiss My Grits though goes to college football as a whole. Now, why? Because the rash of firings that have happened across the board, Penn State, LSU, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, Florida, I'm missing a few. Kent State, I think they had one too. UCLA, they're just flying all over the place, right? Well, collectively, the buyouts, okay, the buyouts so far have racked up, our net is now up to $170 million combined for all of these firings of these coaches. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because I don't want to hear about these schools talking about, oh, help me, I'm poor. Can't do this. We have no money. You don't. All I'm saying is y'all have no problem. If y'all don't like a coach bad enough, you don't care what check you got to write. So much like how Jerry Jones used to say way back when, there's not a check I'll write in order to win the Super Bowl. Well, clearly there's not a check that college football won't write to get rid of a coach. Y'all didn't get your act together, but while you doing that, kiss my grits.
Well,
I should have been a head coach,
For real.
Good money. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Scatterbo. He had a gruesome injury. His leg was just flopping around the wrong way. It was hard to see, but
yeah,
he's already had surgery, and according to the records, he's already walking around on it. So he's out for the year. But rest up, young man. Get back to being you, and come back next year, and be a top 5 running back in the league. Because he was excited to watch, man. So.
Yeah, I agree there with. Yeah, man. I mean that you just never want to see that happen. I mean, you just don't want to see it happen.
I believe he got the same injury as Dak Prescott, right? Remember Dak Prescott did the same thing?
I feel like it was worse, man.
Yeah.
It looked bad.
Yeah. It looked pretty bad. But you never want to see. I don't care what kind of fan you are or anything like that. But if you're a fan of sport, you never want to see a human being getting hurt like that. That's just
yeah.
I mean, and then he's one hell of an athlete. He really is.
Yes, he is. All right. Well, that's it for tonight's pod. Thank y'all for the support. But before we officially sign off, hit them with those socials real quick, Hater.
All right, y'all. You can catch us on Spotify. You can catch us on Apple Podcast and Overcast at The 210 Show. Please visit us on YouTube. We're at The 210 Show Pod. And if you decide to visit, please tip the bartender on the way out by hitting that thumbs up button. And please leave a comment before you go. And while you're at it, the description box has a Discord link for you to join if you'd like to do that. And if you want to hit us up on email, old school way, you can hit us up at j@d210show.com or hater, H8R with FAQS at d210show.com.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for support. Remember, make sure y'all like and subscribe.
Subscribe.
All right. God bless. Take care.